Hello again. Look, I'm using my webcam this time. I forgot I had the webcam to use. Last time when I did the portrait phone. I do have a kitten here. I'm gonna pick him up for you. Lift him up so you can see the poor little baby. He's such a sweetheart. Oh, goodness. Goodness. This is the one I mentioned in the video, named Odin. He's the one that's gonna be long hair. He's so tired right now. Okay, sweetie, you can okay. He I don't know, he drooled on me or something. Goodness, it's okay, honey. Lay it down. It's okay. You should see his face right now. The most precious. So, hi. You can probably hear my fan going in the background, but right there. Right there. My video source is over here, so I'm looking over here to go. Am I pointing to the right thing? And then it's reversed. You know how that is sometimes. So I'm like, left or right? I can't tell. I apologize though. You're probably hearing the fan. Let me tell you though, why that fan is going. Because while we do have central heat and air, it is 103 degrees outside. 103. With a heat index of 104. It's only one higher. I mean, it is hot outside. I went to run an errand earlier, and I tend to wear leggings. And I put on a pair of black leggings that I haven't worn in a while. And after I got outside, I was like, these are not good leggings for this weather. They felt like really thick, and they were not breathable. And it was like 95 degrees at that particular time. So it wasn't my best option. It was not my best option, but you know, whatever. This he's still sleeping right here. Ugh, my heart. So what I'm going to talk about today is the crone. The three phases of the goddess, the three faces or phases, either way works. Maiden, mother, crone. It took me a while to feel like I was in a mother phase, because to me, mother phase meant being a mother and having children. And that was not a thing I did. I didn't have any children. And I'm 42, so it's not happening. So it took me a while. And there were those in the spiritual community. When I recorded that video the other day, the same thing happened. I barely got on the video and I yawned. It's stupid. I can't stop looking at him. It is the cutest. I would move my webcam so you can see him, but then getting it back into position. So it took me a while. And actually, hang on, I'm gonna pull up some notes over here real quick. I was not prepared, obviously, was I? It's because I had thought about it and I was like, no, I don't have any notes I want to pull up. And then just now, talking, I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. So, let me go to those notes. It's about the feminine aspects. Hang on. I'm so sorry I was not prepared. Okay, here we go. So, this is 7 feminine archetypes, and I find it very interesting. This is from a book called Heal the Witch Wound. What's the author's name? If I had the physical copy of the book, I would tell you, but I have the Audible version. So hang on. You see how unprepared I am for this? Heal the Witch Wound. There we go. The full title is Heal the Witch Wound, Reclaim Your Magic and Step into Your Power. The author is Celeste Larson. If you just Google Heal a Witch Wound, you'll find it. So I was listening to the audiobook. I like to listen to it and maybe like do embroidery or play like a little stupid game, like just play some solitaire or do a puzzle, something like that. I can't listen to an audiobook and do nothing. Like I have to be doing something. Same as if I'm like watching YouTube videos. This morning I've been watching a lot of Kellyanne Maddox because I have not been to her channel in a while. There's so much good stuff. I love her. So in Heal the Witch Wound, there's a chapter 13, called Healing the Divine Feminine. And one of the things the author talks about is feminine archetypes. And for each archetype she gives 5 keywords for that archetype, okay? So, I'm going to tell you these. You're going to see me looking over here because that's where my notes are. Hang on, I got to get up. Hang on. Okay, there we go. I couldn't see myself anymore. Okay, so Maiden, Mother, Crone are the first 3 she talks about. So Maiden, her keywords for that are youth, innocence, learning, wonder, and curiosity. Fits a maiden. Oh my god, do I have something in my eye now? Goodness. Could more go wrong? I mean, yes, more could go wrong. Oh my goodness. Get out of my eye. Hang on. Let me grab my little mirror. Oh. It's gone. Alright, my eye pushed it out. Okay, so that was the Maiden. Youth, innocence, learning, wonder, and curiosity. Makes sense. The Mother, fertility, creation, compassion, generosity, nurturing. I'll talk about my relation to each one of them in a moment. The Crone, wisdom, maturity, introspection, patience, and inner peace. Queen, leadership, power, confidence, loyalty, and partnership. Huntress, fearlessness, independence, freedom, self-reliance, ambition. Lover, sensuality, passion, pleasure, magnetism, and creativity. And finally, the last archetype is the mystic. Intuition, imagination, spirituality, healing, and mystery. So, I imagine most of us are going to resonate with more than those. I was talking to my mom about these. We were having a great discussion about it. And she is 65. And she said looking at them, it was almost like she could go decade to decade. Like in this decade, that was my maiden decade. And then I was huntress. And then I was, and like, she said it literally just went through her decades. It's very interesting that it worked out like that. Which of course, in general, when you're talking about the 3, Maiden, Mother, Crone, the point is you're going to go through all of them in life. So it makes sense. But I also believe we're most likely going to resonate with more than one of them at a time. So I actually resonate with 5 of them. Okay, Maiden I kind of still do because it's learning. And the reason is because I love learning. I mean, I still love learning. I've loved learning my entire life. So that little bit of the Maiden is still with me. Mother, compassion, generosity, and nurturing. I am all about that right now. Like, we got into a better, oh, there's Starfish, wait, Star. You haven't seen her yet. She's the tortoise shell I mentioned in the previous video that we got. That's 3 years old currently. Also in this chewy box / bed, because cats, is the gray one again, Ashy. That's where he was when I recorded. Was it yesterday? I keep saying yesterday, but I don't know if it was yesterday. Oh, you can see him now too. I guess they both woke up from their naps. Okay, so the Mother, generosity and nurturing. I have seen myself go that direction quite a bit. So we've kind of stabilized a bit financially. We're not by no means well off. We're still paycheck to paycheck. But it's not as stressful. It's not as impossible feeling. Um, and as a result, I like to use my money to help others as much as I can, to be generous and compassionate. So, like a server at a restaurant, I generally will try, if they were good at all, I will try to tip like 30% if I can, if I have the money to be able to do it. If they weren't good, it just depends. It just depends on how much I'm not going to give them no tip. I mean, my absolute lowest is going to be like 20%, and I'd rather do more than that. They have hard jobs. I've been a server. It's hard to be on your feet all day, every day, and dealing with the public, especially the public. Currently, when I was a server, that was back in like 2009 and 2010. That's when I was a server. It's worse now. It seems so much worse when people are out in public at stores, at restaurants, at anything that's a service. If you work in customer service, I'm sure you 100% agree with me. People are so much worse than they used to be. They're ruder, they're more entitled. It's awful. All right. And I feel for them, so I want to tip them well. And then nurturing is just a quick example. My husband and I, our car was having a little bit of issues, and we took him to a local mechanic here. He's a small mechanic. He's not like with a chain or a dealership or anything. And they had our car for a couple of days to fix something, and like I really wanted to bake cookies and take to them. I've never done that before in my life. I've baked cookies to like eat myself, for the family, even to take to like a holiday party get together kind of thing. Not often, mind you. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling a lot. I think my allergies are being kind of stupid. Moving on to the crone. The crone, I am in transition too, between the mother and the crone. I'm in that transition area between them. And that's been confirmed to me. And I'm gonna talk more about the crone after I finish talking about the rest of them. The queen, leadership, power, confidence, loyalty, partnership. I've never felt the queen. I mean, there's some leadership. There are some things from it that come up in my life, but I don't resonate with the queen at all. The huntress I resonate with. Fearlessness, independence, freedom, self-reliance, ambition. Because when you have a childhood similar to mine and similar to my mother's, self-reliance is the name of the game. You can't rely on anyone else, and you know it. So, and that becomes a problem in adulthood where you don't want to ask for help even when you really need help, because you've learned just to rely on yourself. You've learned that you can't count on other people. So it sucks, but it's life. That's really, the huntress is more from trauma, sadly. The lover. Now, I have to say the lover, it's only the last keyword I resonate with, and that keyword means I resonate with the lover quite highly. So, sensuality, passion, pleasure, magnetism, I don't care. I'm actually asexual. I don't generally look at anyone and go, I want to have sex with that person. You don't need to know me and my husband's sex life, so you're not gonna know. But I don't resonate with the lover, except that creativity's in there. And I understand that, because to me the lover is fire element. And so passion is in there, but so is creativity. I find creativity goes with the fire element. And that is where my fire is. That's the only place my fire is creativity. And let me tell you, I mentioned in the video yesterday that I keep saying was yesterday, even though I don't actually remember if it was yesterday. I mentioned a medication that my doctor had put me on that has really helped with my mood disorders, depression, anxiety. one of the things it has done for me is, my God, my creativity's off the charts. I mean, I feel like I'm more myself again, and I didn't even realize I wasn't myself. I guess it happens so slowly over time, you don't really notice it. And then when you get just pulled right back into yourself, all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I was not expecting this. My creativity, good Lord. I already told you. Just a note, post-it note I wrote to myself earlier. I'm looking at it and going, what now? Do you do that? Do you write like notes to yourself and then later you see them and you're like, I have no idea what this is talking about? Because I do. So anyway, creativity off the charts, man, off the charts. And I'm enjoying it so much. The only problem with it is it's hard to decide what to do. Like, I could embroider, I could do some makeup, I could work on some digital art stuff that I do from time to time. I could work on stuff to put in my Etsy shop. I could make plans and you know, for future stuff. I could work on my digital journal, which is really making me feel very creative right now. Tons of creativity happening, and I'm loving it. And then the last one, the mystic, intuition, imagination, spiritually, I'm all up in that. I've been all up in that for a while. I will say though, as I said in the previous video, my relationship to my craft ebbs and flows, right? And I've kind of been in an ebb for a while, and now I'm back to a flow. And I'm curious, actually, on this new medication, if it would stop the up and down roller coaster and just stay up. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. This little baby, I cannot. I'm showing him to you. Look at him. Look at him. The cute is off the charts, right? My creativity's off the charts. His cute is off the charts. Okay, hang on. I have to adjust. I have to adjust myself. Ooh, back pain. All right. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna unplug my keyboard. Actually, there. His little toe beans are a little too close to the keyboard, and I don't want him to do something like turn off my program that's recording. So the mystic has been me for a long time. That's like the main thing I've been in. When I wasn't really mother, mystic. And then, as I said, I think you could be doing more than one of them at a time easily. So that's how I see them. I would love to know which of these archetypes you resonate with, or if you have a similar experience to my mom where like you can go, that was my 20s, that was my 30s, that was my 40s, that kind of thing. That would be cool to hear about too. Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh. He melts my heart. Ugh. Look, we were not planning on adopting 2 kittens. We were gonna get 1. And when we saw these 2, they were in a PetSmart. The foster group that had them at the PetSmart, and the 2 of them were in there together, and I swear my heart melted into a puddle. I could not get these babies, and I didn't even touch them at that point because the rescue group that had them at PetSmart wasn't there that day, so I couldn't like hold them, touch them, anything that first day. But I still melted my heart, and I was like, I have to get these boys, I have to. So I did. Really. I hope you'll excuse the interruption for the baby. Look at him. I'm looking at the video to see what you're seeing. Oh God, it's so cute. Okay. Anyway, so I want to know your experiences with these 7 archetypes. However you want to tell me, whatever it's been for you, I would love to hear it. So, Crone, though, is what I want to talk about. So, Hecate has come forward lately to work with me. My relationship with deities, what are you doing, sweetie? I don't worship deities. I work with them as partners, as friends, as trusted advisors. I don't, I don't do any worship. I don't do offerings. Um, Anubis and Bast or Bastet are both with me. They have been for a very long time, if not my entire life. They are didn't get the word out. They have been basically guides and companions throughout my life to me, which has been great. Every once in a while, if my cat is upset, sick, something like that, I will actually pray to Bast, help my baby. But I cannot with the cute. I can't. It's too much. It's probably why my shirt is more fuzz than cotton at this point. So Hecate came to see me. She would like to work with me. And so Anubis and Bast are always there, okay? Others, and generally they're feminine deities, come in and out as necessary. I've worked with various other deities over the years. Artemis, Aphrodite, Sekhmet, I can't think, Selene, Nyx, Lilith, I forget. And I worked with Hecate other times too when she's come forward. So she came forward again. And if you know Hecate, then you know she's a crone goddess. Hang on, I'm going to try to find my other notes real quick on her. I think they are in my grimoire actually. I believe. No, go back. Stop behaving. Stop behaving? No, behave. Stop misbehaving. That's what we need right there. Sorry, I keep. Okay. So, Hecate. She's been hanging around. Alright, she's a crone. And then, while she was hanging around, I know I've kind of turned another angle, deal with it. What are you doing with this paw? Mwah. I had a week where spiders were everywhere, okay? Now, our apartment actually does have a decent amount of spiders in the summertime. It's not unusual to find several a week, alright? And there's some places in the house that are darker, more secluded, like a... What, do you stop? He's like, ugh. You're like making my skin wet. I don't like my skin being wet. Just go to sleep, okay? Spiders are certainly not uncommon here, okay? But it was more than normal. And it was spiders that were different from our normal, and so they got my attention. Instead of just being like, oh look, it's another spider, it was something different. So the first one that really got my attention, don't start biting my necklace, sweetie. Okay, here, you lay back down on the desk, alright? Don't be biting my necklace. I'm afraid you're gonna break it, and I don't know if I can find another one. I don't think it's available anymore. Yeah. I'm still petting him though, so. Sorry for the ums. So the first spider that really caught my attention looked similar to the species we get here the most often, but it was bigger, quite a bit bigger. With its legs, it was like this big around. I don't live in Australia, so this is big, alright? If I lived in Australia, I would swim to get out of there, because everything there wants to kill you. And a lot of it is too big. Like those huntsman spiders. Oh, I can't. I'm not arachnophobic, but there are some spiders that just creep me out. Not all of them. I think jumping spiders are fairly cute. I think tarantulas are kind of fun. I've seen people have tarantulas as pets. I would hold a tarantula if I knew, you know, something about it. I wouldn't find one in the wild and pick it up. Did you make it? I don't know if you guys were able to see her jump up there, because I wasn't looking over there. So this one was really big, and then because it was so big, I was much more interested in it. So I took a picture of it before I did anything about it, and then I went on a Google search, and what I found is it was a brown recluse / fiddleback, whichever name you want to give it. And what I found on the internet too is that people misidentify other brown spiders as them all the time. But I double, triple, quadruple checked my picture against the pictures online that are used to show this is what it looks like, and it is what it was. It was a brown recluse, which we do have here in Oklahoma. We have brown recluse and black widow. We have two of the worst. How long have I been recording? Really? There's nothing that's telling me? Oh, nope, there it is. 26 minutes. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I figured this would be about 30 minutes. We're at 26 and I'm not done. So then like the next day, another spider I noticed on the floor, and it was a different type. It was a very small black with a little bit of red on it. And I found out by doing some searching, I forget the name of it, but it's a spider that tries to mimic ants so it can go in and eat them, which is diabolical. It basically, its front 2 feet, it raises up in the air so that they look like the antenna of the ants, and then that leaves them with 6 legs down, and they get in there and the ants don't pay any attention to them, and then they eat the ants. So that was interesting. I forget what the species was called, but very small. I mean, it's trying to look like an ant, so it has to have a very small body, obviously, and fairly short legs too. And then saw a couple more of each of those types, but not as big, definitely not as big on the round recluse. So like a few days there was. So not long after that, we went to a local metaphysical shop, and that is where I got the spider ring I showed yesterday. Yesterday? I don't know, I keep saying it. Hell if I know. No, I think it was yesterday. Anyway, this was necessary. I had to buy it because the spiders. And then my intuition hits informed me that it's because of grandmother spider, who is an indigenous tribe deity. I'm not sure which tribe or tribes that she may be in their sort of pantheon. But what struck me was not so much any of that, just that she's also a crone goddess. And I didn't take it as she's gonna come work with me. I took it as Hecate is getting my attention and like showing me other crone goddesses to be like, hey, are you understanding this? This is where you're headed right now. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna help you get there. That kind of thing, right? So I don't know if my transition into crone will take a year or 20 years. I mean, who knows? I'm not in a hurry. But I have a little bit, I'm like straddling the line between mother and crone right now, doing a little bit of each. And it's been interesting. I'm going to tell you another really quick story about Hecate. I was watching a video by Kellyanne Maddox again, as I said. I think I mentioned this one in the last video about using witchcraft to quit bad habits, and I got the intuitive hit when she was talking about different things to try for it to use magically, and one of them she mentioned a sigil. So I made a sigil for like the first time in years, and then I made it, and then I wrote it again just to write it a little neater, and I added another line on the bottom, and it looked like a key. Do you know what deity has keys as one of her symbols? Hecate. then then I get the kind of, Kellyanne was talking about making like a logo, like something to kind of represent the bad habit, or your efforts to overcome the bad habit, which would be the key in my case. And so I thought, let me just go online and I'll do a quick search for like a fantasy key and see if anything comes up that I feel is a good representation. I mean, I could just write the sigil everywhere, but and I found the very first picture of a key. It was like a gold key. It's fancy looking. It's not like your car key or your house key on your keychain. And I was like, that's it. Okay, great. So I'm going on. I'm still listening to the video, and all of a sudden I get the smell of mint just for like half a second. And I did not have anything mint near me. All right. I'm not a huge fan of the smell of mint. I'm not a huge fan of the taste of mint, except in rare occasions. I don't like mint toothpaste. And then I got this image in my mind of a specific piece of art that I have. It's kind of a clip art type thing, and it is a sprig of mint. And I was like, let me go find that. And I found it way easier than I should have, because I have thousands upon thousands of art things, because I'm in the art. I do the art. Okay. So I found this mint sprig I was looking for, this image, no problem. And so later that night, I was telling my husband about it. And while I was telling him, I said, I wonder if mint is associated with Hecate in any way, since the key is, and I'm kind of putting them together now, the key and mint together for my journey in trying to get this bad habit away. So I Googled. Yeah, mint was a traditional offering for her, one of many. Her offerings most commonly were herbs. Herbs were her thing, and mint is one of them. And it was a fairly traditional offering. And then just to tweak it a little more, one particular site I was on said one of her favorite flowers is lily of the valley. That's my favorite flower. It's my birth flower. I have some fake ones right up here. I have a shelf above me that has like a basket and some fake flowers that my husband and I got at Michael's and put together. It didn't come together. We bought flowers, we bought the basket, we bought foam blocks, and we put it together. But one of the things that are in there is some fake lily of the valley stems that my mom got me, actually, so we added it to it. Because I love lily of the valleys. They're my birth flower, and you know, not everything about my birth stuff do I care. Emerald is my birth month, May. Birthstone, I mean, I've had an emerald ring a couple times in my life, but it doesn't really thrill me. I would prefer like a sapphire or amethyst or a fun alexandrite like this spider is, or a moonstone. I have some moonstone rings, but you know, for some reason lily of the valley though, I love it. I pretty much love almost any type of lily, whether it's in the species or not. If it has the word lily in the name, I probably like it. Calla lilies are one of my favorites. Your classic like tiger lily, obviously. I'm gonna start biting my lips. Anyway, that particular day that I was doing all of this, watching Kellyanne's videos, came up with the key, all of that, there were so many synchronicities. And Hecate was like, let's get started, bitch. I told you you're moving into Crone. Let's do it. And I said, all right, let's do it. So, I'm going to try to get rid of this bad habit of mine with Hecate's help, and the sigil, and the key, and the mint. And, yeah, I'll be working with Hecate to go into my Crone phase. So, tell me which of these archetypes, I already said that part, you know, tell me where you think your life is and your phases in general. You don't have to use all 7. You can just be like, you know, maiden, mother, crone, like I'm in the mother phase or whatever. But I'd love to hear your experiences with the archetypes, as well as if you have any experiences with Hecate. or another crone goddess, because there are certainly others. Alright? Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed seeing my little baby here. He's back to being curled up on my desk and sleeping. So I will see you guys in the next video. Again, thank you. And I'm Sage. Have a magical day.